everyone. Hopefully everything's coming through loud and clear. Morning. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat, folks. On the road up to Brisbane today. Empty coffee cup. A little bit of an early start, but good to see a few of you on this morning. Morning, Chris. How you going, mate? Good to see you up and about. Aaron. Here too. Lee, all the way from Tassie. Good to see you, mate. Hope everything's well in your neck of the woods. Heading up to Brisbane today. Thought we might talk about the idea of visiting your properties, folks. Interesting one out there when you are purchasing your real estate as an investor. What's your take on the idea of, do you visit your properties? Do you look at every single property, every single piece of real estate? Let me know in the chat. Many years ago, when we first started our property investing journey, we started, in 2001, and the idea that buying real estate sight unseen was very unique. The idea of purchasing properties interstate, even into town. I don't even know if that's the right way to say it. Into town, interstate, away from your local area, was not a very common thing. Many of the investing books that I read many years ago talked about, get to know your local area, know every street and every bit of the neighborhood, and really dial that up and make sure that values and street prices and houses and whatever, and those sorts of things, and you could nail a good deal if you were familiar with a suburb, a street, an area, when it comes to investing. And then along comes something in 2003 which really chucked a spanner in the works in the world of property investing, and that was realestate.com, and the idea that properties, you could access information about real estate, property investing, from the comfort of your own home on a computer. These days on an iPhone, no matter where you are. I'm driving in the car with Shay this morning, daughter in the back. She doesn't want to be on live stream, but there you go, she is now. Where the idea, you can basically be sitting on your iPhone looking at real estate from anywhere in the world. I could be looking at real estate in any location at any time, at any point. The speed of information is pretty significant. So the idea, do you visit your investment real estate, is an interesting one. I've had that question many times from investors over the years. Have I physically visited real estate and eyeballed it before I purchased it, and has it made a difference? And the answer for me, I'd be interested to hear from you guys, do you visit? Do you think it's important to physically visit real estate before you buy it? And is it possible? The answer for me is no. Most properties that I've bought and own, I've never physically visited. Yeah, we got someone here. Yep, no, we don't go look at them. Just go off the dollars they can bring in, and so, yeah, 100%. Certainly, the level of due diligence over the years that you can do from a distance, the information that you can gather, especially depending on which team you work with, an acquisitions team or a property team, they can provide significant amounts of good information for you to make a decision. I think it's pretty good. Chris is saying, I'd like to, and I'm with you, Chris. Today I'm going to visit one, and that's why I'm sort of saying I'm going up to Brisbane to visit a property that we're settling. A few of you might already be in this one, Upper House at Aria. Going to visit a property today, only because I like to, not because I have to. And Alex is saying, yep, my properties are on a spreadsheet, and that's pretty well what. Few people are settling Arana Hills too this week or next week, aren't they, Chris? Yeah. But spreadsheet, dollars, numbers, that's the predominant approach to that we've sort of taught, ourselves and our property investment, team, that you need to be able to analyze and be comfortable at a distance when you're investing in properties. And let's talk about the checks and balances that are in there that you can do that with. It's not like, oh, she'll be right, and let's have a guess and pluck something out of your behind and let's go. What's the process? Who do you talk to? Who do you get? Where's the check-in, right? So, for example, let's say we're looking for property. We find something where we might want to start the process of understanding it and making sure it's fine and it's good. Well, number one, the process of doing your own early due diligence, where you check in on things like, realestate.com, domain.com, things that are for sale in the area. You check that. Checking the area, walkscore.com.au, SQM research, microburbs, and I've talked about these websites, and your coaches would have talked about them as well. Go check those things out. Check the demographics, check the area, as we go along. And yeah, absolutely, Alex, for sure. Alex has got a good suggestion there. Talk to, and that's where you sort of get to the actual pointy end of this thing. Having a fantastic, awesome, great property manager is essential when it comes to the ownership long term. So, doing some due diligence before you purchase the property, it's at your fingertips. Let's face it, folks, there is lots of good information. There's lots of, Facebook groups and websites and stuff. And, there should be no reason why you, Google Maps, you can literally get in Google Maps and walk around the area. You can literally walk the streets. Now, listen, it was, those photos were snapped in one period of time, but, there's so much you can do from a distance. And to be quite honest, getting on an aeroplane for one day to go and visit an area, at a period of time, and you pop by the property and you're there for 30 minutes. I don't know. I don't think that's any better than, matter of fact, it's not as good as you doing a significant amount of due diligence, using the tools and the technology we got. So, do you have to visit it? No, you don't. You don't have to at all. You need to have a bit of a system in place, a system of pre-due diligence, and then post-due diligence. What's post-due diligence? Well, or post, checking of your property. So, for example, checking that the property was built, if it's new, if it was built to the specifications that you purchased it. If it's secondhand, checking that, what was on the settlement list and the contract is actually what ends up being there. After settlement, things like, defects and other bits and pieces, which are very normal if you've got brand new properties, getting your property managers to take care of those for you, making sure that you can, the builder or the developer comes back and fixes those things up, pretty important. So really, at the end of the day, I think, for me, this is a short one today because I'm almost at where we're going. Do you need to visit those properties? Do you need to visit the areas before you buy them? The short answer is no, you don't. And the longer answer is you should at least do some, significant due diligence and checking before you do. And if you feel like it, like Chris said, and like we're doing today, if you feel like it and you want to, then go along. I always like to visit the cities that I'm investing in. To be honest, I like to feel the vibe of the city and get a feel for that, because it's difficult to feel that from a distance, not necessarily the property. So, there you go. An excuse to get on a plane and go visit somewhere, maybe, let's say Melbourne or Brisbane or Newcastle or Canberra or whatever, and just get a bit of a feel for the area one time. But then, you're not really visiting those properties very often at all. if ever. So there you go. All right, folks, that's it from me today. Wealth Coffee Chat done and dusted. A short one. Hope you're all awesome and well. Come and hang out tomorrow if you're up for it. We'll hang out and do something else tomorrow, 8:10. You know the drill. You know when it's on. Good to see all of you. Thanks for joining. Just quickly this morning, as always, leave me a comment in the chat. I'll always read them afterwards and see if there's anything that's on your mind or you want me to have a conversation about. But that's it from me. I might send you a few photos of the view of where I'm going. So it's kind of cool. Looking forward to it. All right, that's it, folks. Adios. Have a good day. Bye for now.